Hello, and welcome to another haul video. I know it's been a while, and for that, I am very sorry. I've just had a very difficult time managing my schedule, on top of getting sick semi-frequently at the moment, and having just absolutely terrible internet, so I've not been able to do much um, online at all lately, which has been a right pain. But I am back with this birthday haul, starting with these canvases. So I've got some from Art Saver that are 280 GSM, and this one from Francheville, which is a hexagon shape, and it is 350 GSM. And both are 100% cotton. They are triple primed. I don't know much about the brands themselves, so hopefully they'll be good, but they'll be fun to practice on in any case, especially when I have all this new acrylic paint to play with. I am super, super lucky. My brother got me these, my brother and his girlfriend, sorry. They both got me these for my birthday. Now I'm a big fan of Reeves. I do enjoy their paints. I have a lot of them, and my brother went through the collection, found the ones I didn't have that he could get locally to add to my big array. So I've got pale lemon, cadmium yellow deep hue and deep yellow, orange, and sand, as well as medium grey. Now I know some of those colours do look pretty similar. You probably don't need both, but I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. We've also got burnt sienna here, as well as Payne's grey, which is a favourite, a good alternative to black. And we've got ultramarine as well as deep turquoise. Now, I have a heap of Reeves paints at the moment, so I've swatched them all out onto cards to try and keep track of everything. And so I'll share that video hopefully within the next 2 weeks, trying to keep a more regular uploading schedule. But I was also very lucky to get some different mediums. So a modeling paste and of course textured gel and an iridescent medium. So I can mess with the texture and the thickness and the shimmeriness of all the paints how I would like. So that'll be a lot of fun to mess around with. Now, from my parents, I was very lucky to get some Yarka St. Petersburg original watercolors, as well as Jasarts Byron watercolors. In the metal pocket sets, I got 3 of these, as well as the Jasart Byron acrylic paint set. Now I really like jazz art pencils and watercolor color pencils and watercolor pencils. So it's very exciting to have other mediums to mess around with to see how they work from a nice priced, cheaper alternative brand I'm trying to get out. And I also got a 4 color pencil, which will be super fun to sketch with. It's a Lyra from Germany, um, which will be super fun. And I got Chromacryl Pastel Set and a really nice sketchbook. Sorry, it's a notebook with art pages in it. So it'll be good for jotting down all my different ideas and also getting inspiration from the beautiful art by Toni, Carmine, Salerno. And it's just a really, really beautiful collection of her art in a notebook, and it will help inspire me and as a place to write things. So that's very exciting to have and to flick through, and it'll be a lot of fun. Now, this recording is a few weeks old at this point, but between having no voice and no internet, it's been really difficult to do a voiceover recording. So with these Jazz Art Byron watercolors, I have actually had a bit of a chance to play with them since filming this. Now I will do a video on them in the upcoming weeks, swatching out and a bit of painting and whatnot. but I can let you know that I do enjoy them. They're nice. They're not super fancy and they're a bit more translucent than some, but some people I know really, really like translucent. But I have the pastel set, Australian landscape set, and the ocean set, and they're really nice paints for the price that you can get them. Um, and they're very portable. These tins are not very heavy. In the Australian landscape and the ocean set, there is a really nice array of colours. They come with the aqua brush, a sponge, space for mixing, and yeah, a good array of colours. The pastel set, I will say, is a bit more limited. I don't think that one could you could travel with to do plein air how you see it kind of painting, not like the other two could. But I do have some ideas for how I will use that. So, if you're interested in a video on these paints, feel free to subscribe. No pressure at all. But that will hopefully be coming up in the next few weeks. Um, but yeah, no, they're quite nice. Especially if you are someone like me who is starting watercolor again. I keep stopping and starting, and I feel like I have to relearn everything every time I go because I've been on such an acrylic kick that I have sort of forgotten how watercolors work again. It's funny how that happens. It just is a constant battle of getting really motivated by different mediums and losing track of the other ones and having to regain those skills. Obviously, each time it's faster. But these Byron acrylic paints, I haven't had a chance to play with them yet, but I will. I'm pretty excited. Like I said, I am a fan of the Jasarts Byron, so that is pretty fun. Now we've got these Chromacryl Pastel Set. Now there is pastel pink, pastel orange, pastel violet, pastel blue, and pastel green. And they are a medium body student acrylic. Um, and I actually swatched these at the end of the video, so if you want to keep watching to see that, stick around. Um, and I'm also swatching out these St. Petersburg watercolors at the end of this video. So this is a 24 pan set. It's quite nice. It is a plastic pan. I don't know how practical it would be to, say, travel with this, because it is a bit cumbersome. I don't think I'll be doing much traveling with these at the moment, because this is probably my fanciest brand of watercolors at the moment. Now, I do swatch all these out, but I'm not gonna be doing a lot of painting with them just yet while I regain my footing with watercolor. I I think a lot of artists at my level, which I would say is a touch above beginner, but nowhere near I wouldn't I don't even know if I could consider myself an intermediate artist. Um it's very intimidating to use your really good quality art supplies. I have that problem with the papers that I have. I have some really good quality watercolor paper, but I'm scared of wasting it. Like, I'm scared of wasting this paint. And in truth, none of it is ever a waste as long as you're practicing, you're learning, you're developing skills. It's never a waste, but I think there is that financial sort of kick in the gut when you accidentally ruin an expensive piece of paper that you've brought and you've um, wrecked it by not knowing what you were doing, or you hate how something has come out. Um, but it is a mindset I'm trying to grow past while also not just throwing myself in the deep end. I'm taking it step by step. But this is a very, very exciting palette to have. I'm very, very lucky. Um, I know that it was expensive because I love my mother dearly, but she forgets to take the price tag off things. So it's about $180. Um, Now I have no idea if she just brought it as is or if she got it on sale. Um, but I am greatly appreciative of it, no matter what. And it's a really, really nice set to have, um, and to grow and develop with when I'm ready to tackle slightly fancier paints. Um, but no, I was a very, very lucky kid for this birthday of mine, and I can't wait to use everything. I can't wait to grow and develop with all these new art supplies that I get to have and play with, and it's very fun to know that my family appreciates me and gets what I get. I know that, you know, gift giving isn't the be all and end all of love, but it does feel really nice when people know what it is that you like. Um, but I am going to swatch some of the items, starting with the Chromacryl, um, which is so Chroma is an Australian brand. It has the Atelier and Jo Sonia under their umbrella, and it is well, this particular set was $20. Thank you, Mum. Um, but this is their student grade paint. And so it has here a lot of information on the back on how you can use it, different ways to use it. This is just sort of my swatching page, which I also decided to do a little artwork with because it's pastels and it is so much fun to work in pastels. As someone who does like cutesy things, I do very, very, very much enjoy pastel colors. Um, and it's pretty good because I don't have like any dedicated pastel acrylic paints, I don't believe. So this is fun to have. So I've got pastel pink here, and it is a rather bright pastel pink, but it's still very nice. I can definitely see myself using this very frequently. Um, Now I am painting on some paper that I've actually got in a previous haul. Um, so that, if you're interested, that is my very first big haul. I got a Araldo di Palo beginner acrylic set, and it came with this paper, which is um, it's 350 GSM. It's very thick and it has a kind of strange texture. It's got a kind of powdery feel to it. No powder actually comes off, but it is worth noting that thin acrylic paints, you need a lot of layers to get on this. So it's a good way to test how thick your paint is. Because thin acrylic paint really gets soaked into the paper, so you need a lot of layers to make a sort of um to make an indent, I guess. But this here is the pastel green, which is almost like a pastel neon green. Of the colors on this set, this is probably my least favorite. I still really like this color, but it's a very strange pastel green. It's not how I would have made pastel green. It's incredibly vibrant for a pastel shade, if that makes sense. And it definitely is a bit of a, it does stand out. Like I said, the pink is bright, but I think it works. And this is pastel orange, and it's almost like a peachy hue. And I think it's very nice. Um, Pastel orange. It could have been slightly warmer, and still worked, I think. But I do like it. And I like the pink, and this is the pastel violet, which I think is a very interesting choice of names. Um, Basically, I would say that that's just lilac. I don't know if pastel violet is necessary. Particularly, I'm not sure whom this is aimed at. It is quite a reasonably priced set, and it is student paint, so you could have just gone with pale or pastel purple. But pastel violet, I don't make the names. I just paint. And then there's this pastel blue, which is a really lovely kind of sky baby blue shade. It's really, really beautiful. Um, so all of the paints except the pastel green, I think are really lovely. Pastel green just is it throws me quite a bit. So I'm very happy to have all these, and they do mix decently well. So the skin is a mix of the orange and the violet. Um, and the hair is the same with a touch of brown, and I did add the dark blue to match the reference picture. But other than that, I'm really quite happy with these paints. I like their texture, I like their thickness. Now they're not light fast, but that's all right. This is just going to be fun to play with. Like I said, I want to play with some more pastel shades and whatnot. But I may have to get myself a different green or add white to it or something just to dilute it from that neon striking color. Now I'm also swatching out these Yarka St. Petersburg watercolors. So it's very exciting. Now they are slightly tacky to touch when I open them. I don't know if that's like the honey binding. I don't know a lot about your more fancier paints. I'm learning as we go. Um, but that is something to keep in mind. They are that slight tackiness. Now for paints, I've got the cadmium yellow. Cadmium lemon. PY35. Got cadmium yellow medium, which is also PY35. Yellow ochre, which is PY43 and PY1. Violet PV3. Ultramarine PB29. Blue Russian PB15. Now I've just swatched them out the way that they were in the palette. I probably should have thought about it just a little bit more, as it is a kind of strange layout and I don't like how it looks on the page. But I don't mind how it looks in the palette, but it's for a very strange sort of looking palette there. But we've got raw sienna, B PBR7, golden PY3, BO13, um, cadmium orange PO20, cobalt blue PB28, and yellowish green PG7 and PY3, emerald green PBG. Now most of these are single color pigments, which I know is really good for mixing. Some have two. Now there are some at the end that have three, which I know is not preferable. But most are one, so that will be good to work with. And I mean, I need to form my own opinions because I don't know a lot about that sort of stuff. So I'll be able to figure out as I paint with them, what I what I like, what I prefer. If I'm okay with two pigment mixes, if I can work with three pigment mixes, how I like these sort of things. But those colors there are red ochre PR102, burnt sienna PBR7, English red PR101, green Russian PG8, Mars brown PBR6TR, burnt umber PBR7, scarlet PBR and PBR4, PBR2 and PBR4, Carmine hue PR 171, uh, Madder Lake Red Light PR 187, Umber Raw PY43, PBR7 and PBK7, Sepia PR 102, PR 187, PBK7, and Neutral Tint Black PR187, PB151, PK, PBK7. So those last three are three color mixes, which I know a lot of people aren't too aren't, aren't a fan of. And I will have to make my own conclusions when it comes to them and how I can work with them. But overall, these are such vibrant watercolors. They're such a standout color mix. Now, I will say there is a significant amount of brown or brown shades, brown hues in this mix, which is fine, which works. I probably wouldn't have minded some more greens. I know the one green, well, we have a few greens, but yeah, of the three greens, one of them is a two mix, and the emerald green I wouldn't say is a true green, but green is a color that can be mixed pretty easily. Um, but yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and if I'm lucky, I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.